Hello everybody, it is me once again, Erik.
With a K.
And I'm so happy to be telling you the next part of the story of Rosea Dreams by Dietlef Linder. And the chapter that we are looking at today is simply called Books. Rosea woke up and saw that the sun was up too. Looking out of the window showed that the sun had been up for a while, which was strange. Normally her mother would wake her early. Normally meant during the week. This was it. No, it could not be Saturday or Sunday. Yesterday had been Sunday. Then Rosea remembered. Her mother had every second Saturday off from work. That had been the week before, and they had had a long weekend together. The week after, her mother had to work over the weekend, but got the Monday off. This was one of the Mondays that her mother did not have to work. And as the sun was up for some time already, she was not sending Rosea off to preschool. By the smell wafting into her room, she was also busy preparing breakfast. Rosea smelled pancakes. She did like pancakes a lot. Still, she wished her mom's day off would be tomorrow. She had a lot of questions for Father Jacob, but she would spend this day with her mom. She liked it. It was great to spend time with her mom, but the questions about the man with the strange suit in the other dream world were burning in her. But first things first, pancakes. Rosea had a wonderful day with her mom, even as she had to do many chores. Her mother worked a lot when she was away from their home, so when she was home, she had to work a lot in and around the home. Rosea helped and did not mind the chores so much because she got to do them with her mother. She was so busy that she forgot about her urgent questions, which had still burned in her hot enough in the morning that she had feared she would get a fever. At one time she thought about Togetherland, but not about the man in the strange grey suit. She remembered that she had not asked her mom about the unicorn antelopes, those animals that looked a lot like Gideon's unicorns. She had forgotten the name, though. She tried to describe them, and her mother said, "I think I have heard of them. I have an idea of what we can do." Rosea eagerly asked, "And what can we do?" "You know, Mr. Marlin has a lot of books. He might even have one with the picture of those antelopes. He's always watching you and the other children. I think we should say thank you." Rosea said, "Yes, he does watch us, and it is always nice to say thank you." Her mother ruffled her hair and said, "Sounds like I raised you well. Okay, here then is what we will do. We will bake a cake and bring it over. And then you can ask about those special antelopes." Later, they went to visit Father Jacob with a freshly baked cake. It was so late that the children that had been there in the afternoon had already gone home. Children were not allowed in Father Jacob's house, but Rosea had not come alone. She had arrived with her mother and a cake. Father Jacob invited them in. His house was cluttered with books. There were shelves all over the place, but the books were not just on the shelves. There were books on tables and on chairs and on the sofa. In a few spots, there were even books on the floor. Where there were no books, there were notes, but mostly the notes were with the books. Looking at all the books, Rosea was sure that Father Jacob's house was bigger inside than outside. The books needed more space than a house as small as Father Jacob's could possibly provide. Father Jacob moved some books and a few notes from 2 armchairs and asked them to sit down. Then he was busy for a while making space on the table in front of the armchairs. That took a while. Once it was done, he said, "Just a moment, please." He left the room, and Rosea heard some clattering from another room. He finally came back with 3 plates and some cutlery. The plates did not match, and neither did the cutlery. He set the table. As he was about to sit down, he exclaimed, "Oh, I almost forgot." He left the room again and returned with tea and chipped cups. Finally, they sat all together, and Rosea's mother explained that she had come to say thank you for all the times that he had watched Rosea. She said the cake was also to say thank you, but the cake did not say a word. Father Jacob declared that this cake was not necessary, and Rosea added, "And the cake is silent too." The adults looked at her with surprise, but then Father Jacob grinned and winked. He said, "Yes, this is an awfully silent cake. I take that the cake is just shy and not impolite." He turned to the cake, brandished a knife, and asked the cake, "Any last words?" "Nothing. Last chance." He looked back to Rosea and explained, "He does not want to say anything. I think the cake is resigned to be eaten now." He cut the cake. They ate cake, and Rosea's mom asked about the antelopes. Father Jacob knew right away what kind of antelope it was. "Ah, the white oryx." Again he said, "Just a moment, please." This time it was for just a moment, and he returned with 2 books. One book was in a foreign language. It was about animals and had many pictures in it. He showed them the oryx antelope and the white oryx. In the other books were also pictures. The pictures showed paintings of unicorns, and those paintings were old. Rosea could see how they looked very much like the white antelopes. She asked Father Jacob, "Where in Africa can I find the unicorn antelopes?" He answered, "The white oryx is called the Arabian oryx. You can find it on the Arabian Peninsula, but not in Africa. Even other oryx antelopes are not found here in the south of Africa, but only far to the north." She remembered that Gideon had talked about Africa. He had said his father had told him about them. Rosea had not remembered the name until Father Jacob had said it again. Maybe had Gideon remembered that some oryx antelopes are from Africa, but had forgotten that the white oryx was found elsewhere. She said aloud, "Sometimes we forget things and do not remember them right." Father Jacob said, "That is what books are for. You can always return to the words in the books with more ease than the words in your memory." Rosea was curious. "Is everything in books?" He smiled. Father Jacob had many different smiles. This was one of the smiles he showed when somebody had asked a good question. "Not everything is in books. People learn new things every day, which have not yet been written down." Rosea announced with great seriousness, "Well, then they have to write new books." Father Jacob laughed and remarked, "A splendid idea, truly a splendid idea." And Rosea decided that one day she would also write a book, to share about her world and to tell of all the new things that she had learned. And that is where we will leave the story of Rosea Dreams today. But we will come back soon with some more of the story, and they will travel back to the dream world, and maybe we will get to see the man in the grey suit again. I hope you liked it, and I hope you will come back many times, because almost every day on Character Stories for Children there are new stories by different characters, and so many stories you can catch up on if you have missed them. The Saga of Cliffhanger is one of them. The Silly and Billy Show is another one that I like, and Harriet tells a story every Monday. There are so many stories, so make sure you ask your parents to take you to the channel. And I will see you sometime soon for some more of the story of Rosea Dreams. So goodbye from me, Erik.
With a K.